Hello everybody, this is pt.5 and welcome back to some more Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Corner Turnabout. In the previous episode, I guess we started the trial. It has been quite a while since I played this again. My last save was in like mid-November, so yeah. This kind of fell on the back burner for a little bit, but I'm gonna see and I'm gonna try and see if I can finish this off, or like just get back into the swing of things again. In this episode, we're going to continue the trial. So if you like what you see, leave a like down below, comment if you have anything to say, subscribe to me if you haven't already, and share with your friends so they can join in on this adventure. Okay. Nope. I'm gonna have to look over the evidence again. That night, I passed through my way through the park on my way home from shopping when I saw them. One man pulling a stand, another man facing him. I saw them quite clearly. The man facing the victim was the defendant. In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. A shot! The bullet hit the man pulling the stand from the front, square in the forehead. Seems pretty confident in his testimony. We always make the biggest mistakes when we're at most confident. He's got a weak point somewhere, Apollo. Find it. Right. Better give the testimony another listen. Okay. What do we have? Enemy's badge. We have the map. That's where Phoenix was hit. We have the bowl. No cracks or anything. We have the panties. We have the cell phone. We have the mirror. Fingerprint powder. This is single bullet to the right temple. Ah. From the front, square in the forehead. That's not it. Objection! Oof. That's all of it. I think I have a chance. Oh god, I don't remember the voice I gave him. Ugh. Is that you relaxing, I see, Justice? Oh, objection! Apollo, pace yourself. This trial's not over yet. Right. Look at this. The report? Is there a problem with the report? Right. A problem. Problem. Yes! The problem is at the location of the entry wound. Okay, then. You testified that the killer shot the victim square in the forehead, did you not? I have already determined your angle of inquiry. Allow me to explain. It is quite simple, really. First, understand that when I say square, I speak not of the geometrical, what I mean by this. For example, the deflection of a meter is that the wavelength of light emitted by a krypton particle, we all know. In addition, it is a well-known fact that the krypton particles are rare, and, okay, shut up. Yes? This is the big time, and you are obsessed with something so small, you disappoint me. No! I'm obsessed with something big! I mean, there's a bigger, less nitpicky problem here. What? How? Just look at the autopsy report. The location of the entry wound was the right temple! Temple? Mr. Stickler, you said quite clearly that the victim was shot square in the forehead. That's a contradiction, isn't it? It is, right? Finally. Objection! Justice. Oh, Justice. Yes? Your tactics are outdated. Try shaking the witness by objecting to trifles? Surely you haven't forgotten the fatal wound your master suffered 7 years ago. Phoenix Wright, was it? Look, I know the wound was in the wrong place according to this testimony. Hey, your forehead. Forehead? Let's imagine you're walking through the park. You see two men facing each other, one with a pistol, trained on the other. What would you do, Air Forehead? Well, I guess I would try to stop them. Probably shout stop. And you, Frolin? Me? Well, I'd probably scream eek. And you, Air Stickler? What did you shout, I wonder? If the victim turns his head at the last moment... Ah, yes. Thank you for jogging my memory. As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action. Cease this at once, you two! I cried, with composure. The victim turned in the direction of my voice, and a shot rang out. Whereupon, our cowardly killer, the defendant, appeared to have become frightened. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. My friend, you attempted to stop the crime. Indeed, with composure. Well, maybe the criminal wouldn't have fired if he hadn't shouted like that. That doesn't really matter now, unfortunately. Let's consider this new testimony, shall we? Observe the diagram, if you would. The witness, Mr. Stickler, was it? Stood here. He shouted, "Oh, stop, please," or something of that nature. And the victim responded by looking at the witness's direction. The killer were to have fired at just that moment. As we can see, the bullet would have struck the right temple, as in the report. Witness the power of a junior in Ivy University's Department of Science. And the Park 2. As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action. Knife. Shit, I found it at the crime scene. Two rounds were fired. Fingerprints were wiped. Ah! Cease this at once, you two! I cried with composure. The victim turned in the direction of my voice, and a shot rang out. Whereupon our cowardly killer, the defendant, appeared to have become frightened. Can you describe the killer's action more clearly? He seemed quite surprised, especially considering that it was he who did the deed. As we can see, human psychology is a tangled web indeed. He simply couldn't believe what he'd done. He shot, he panicked, a common tale, but true. Unfortunately, before I could take further action, tossing the pistol aside, he fled the scene. Hold it! You didn't try to apprehend the criminal? It all happened so fast, I'm afraid I hadn't time. Didn't something about that strike his odd, Apollo? What? The killer was in a hurry, right? He fired the pistol, then tossed it right away. According to the testimony, that's what happened, yes. In that case, I'd expect to find something that we didn't find. Yeah, okay, I thought so. Alright, okay, I get it, Trucy. I got it. Nope, because the fingerprints were wiped. And two rounds were fired. That's two contradictions. Objection! Wait a second. Another misleading request. Yet you're still holding... You're beholden to your own mode of discourse. You can't see how it affects you. Come again? Wait a second, you say. A second? Are we intending to wait just a single minute? Ah, shut up. I don't care. Yes, Your Honor?
I understand you are objecting to the length of the record.
Yeah, no! Look, just look at the pistol. It doesn't have a single fingerprint on it. A common ploy, made all more common, I fear, by the prevalence of television. Criminals these days are loath to leave fingerprints. Wait, but you said the killer tossed the gun and ran. That's right. You didn't have time to wait the gun for prints. Ah, the little girl sticking it to the university student. There's a song in there. I'm not little. Let's think like adults, shall we, Fraulein? Huh? What if the killer, the defendant, was wearing gloves? Gotta admit, I didn't think of that, Apollo. God damn it, Trucy. The killer have been wearing gloves? No. The record of the murder weapon is very clear about one thing. The fingerprints were wiped, which means some trace of prints remained, which contradicts your testimony. If everything happened as you say it did, you wouldn't have had time to wipe the pistol. That may be, but it does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant, he threw down the murderous weapon from his hand and fled. And this pistol was found at the scene of the crime. Strongly suggests that the weapon he disposed of. Doesn't sound to me. Well, forehead. Any of your precious objections? Yes! Give us a Apollo. Let's see that voice training go to work. You know, I've only recently realized something. No matter how much you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say. What do you mean, nothing to say? Isn't it obvious from what the witness just said? Huh? Isn't what obvious? When he just restated that he saw, just now he saw Walkie drop a murderous weapon, but that's not the same as being 100% sure of what Walkie threw away. You're right. You're just confused because the pistol was found at the scene. Oh, Mr. Stickler, it must be hard to be so perfect and yet so wrong. Well, it can be said that I'm quite offended. Well, it is true that I want. Shut up.
Well, what is that important? The witness saw something to with something. Does the witness have anything to say about that?
Well, if it wasn't a pistol, then it had to be something else. At least one person on the defense team seems to be thinking. Ugh! I'll wipe that smile off your pretty face, Gavin.
I'm thinking forward because it's admitted it's something else. What does the kill throw away before turning the scene?
If that's the case, it would be the knife, because that's the only thing that had Walkie's fingerprints on it. Take that!
What's that? What's for?
A shiv.
No one was on late movie last night.
Great. A sleep-deprived judge. This knife was found at the scene of the crime, with the defendant's fingerprints on it.
A print?
The single piece of evidence proves two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't a pistol. Two, that the defendant wasn't wearing gloves.
Indeed.
Oh, yeah, forehead. You're forgetting two other things you've just proven. Oh, that Walkie was at the scene of the crime. One, that the man that the witness saw was the defendant, Mr. Walkie Kitaki. Two, the defendant was holding a knife, with the intent of harming the victim. Oh.
Indeed.
Never underestimate Gavin is the lesson here.
Before the now the printed that a witness is found to record of something. And that, I believe, would be hopeless to hear what happened. But let's assume it, please.
It is always the same with you people. Mark left the house on Mark left the house on foot, and 5 minutes later, his brother left after him. Oh, Mark left the house. Oh. How long would it take for Mark's brother to catch up to him? Assuming that Mark never had to stop for a traffic light. Assuming. Yes, that is what I said. Assuming. As if there were probable that you hear, assuming that assumption is no better.
But the court assumes that the witness will testify to what happened after the shot was fired.
Shot to call. I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene, nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else. Why didn't you chase the killer? He was, as you say, a killer. Of course, I could have run him down, yet what would you have done when cornered? Sadly, it takes more than aptitude for solving quadratic equations to know that. The testimony earlier not proved the defendant's presence at the scene? And do we not also know that there was no one else there? It seems clear that we have our killer. Does it not? Better find a way to take this testimony down quick. Shot to call. Okay. Could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene. Alright. Entry point ring type. Okay, so this is done. I'm gonna have to press this one. Hold it! Which way did the killer run? By that time, it was clear the killer had noticed me. Naturally, he ran in the opposite direction. That would mean he ran in the opposite direction from the Kentucky mansion. Chung! Don't even think about pointing out that he was going away from his home. All he had to do was loop back around once he was out of sight. Ugh, how did he know that's where I was going? See? You were certainly composed for someone who had just witnessed a killing. If one is to devote one's life to the pursuit of science, one must never flinch at the sight of a little blood, nor be moved by a chemical discovery that one drops one's flask upon a lab room floor. Cool answer. Very cool. So nothing strange about how he acted. She looks like she has something to say. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Wasn't your first thought to call an ambulance? It can be said that I have dabbled in medicine. The injury I witnessed, namely a single shot to the head, tends to result in death. Ergo, there was no need for me to call an ambulance. Oh, perfect syllogism. A proof in 3 parts. Exquisite. Simply exquisite. Actually looks like he's going to cry. The police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later. I saw no one else. Can you tell us in detail about these 10 minutes? I stood in a state of heightened awareness. Anything could happen at any moment. Anything could happen in any direction. Is that all? No one came. Nothing happened at all. I saw it all, which is to say, I saw nothing. So we just stood there, watching. Not much to go on there. Seriously, if you got something to say, by all means, say it! Ugh! I can't find a single problem with that testimony! Enough at last, air forehead. Maybe it's time to back off a bit. The defense still has some questions that demand answers, Your Honor. Let him play attorney until he's satisfied, I say. I'll lose myself by composing my next smash hit in my head. Maybe there isn't anything left. Most of the glamorous careers we'd like to get back to this month, air forehead. I don't have enough to put walking away yet. Should I back off for now? Ugh! Ugh! There's nothing fishy about that testimony at all. There's any number of ways to explain the lack of prints on the pistol, I assure you. The killer really was wearing gloves which wiped the previous user's prints off. Then after the deed was done, this fell out of his pocket and was throwing the gun away. Mistake befitting of a small-time punk, in my opinion. No. No!
You will come to the end of the line here.
No, that can't be all. Unfortunate. It seems that you weren't cut out to stand on the same stage as me. Where you wear forehead.
I want to bring that cut on the income policy. Put now the clear vertical to defend the McPartland cross.
Eek. Whoa! Trucy! Nobody move.
What do you mean? Hurry up!
There be no verdict in this court. Not yet. Wait, what? Are you one of the Katakis?
What? You want the Bronx Panthers?
You don't want to see that we give the pretty little girl a new smile, do as I say. Adjourn the court for 20 minutes.
What? The court will not let that to the president like him.
Hey, Judge. See little point in further aggravating this gentleman. Reassess 20 minutes. I promise you'll regret it. Wait! How did you disappear so fast? Come to the defendant lobby, Apollo.
The president never told that they were done for 20-minute recess. Brother, come into the plan.
That's not good. News the scene. 11:17 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Trucy! Trucy! You went quick, Apollo. Good show, good show. Trucy, you're okay. I thought... Don't cry, Apollo. Ugh, there's no good for nothing gangsters. There's some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges. Wait, just calm down, Apollo. Or else... Ah! What the heck is that? Surprised? It's one of my best tricks. The amazing Mr. Hat. Look marvelous, darling. He's a big hit on stage at the Wonder Bar. Yes, I am a big hit. Well, what do you think? You like it? You mean you... Trucy, there's some things you just don't do! I'm pressing charges! Apollo, now's not the time to be threatening me. And she was being threatened here. Huh? Remember what you said to Waki's father yesterday? You promised you'd save his son. But that testimony was rock solid. What are you just gonna do? Look, once the judge declares the verdict, it's all over. If I can use my talent to stop that from happening, I will. Trucy, no more stage abductions, please. I'm not talking about magic, Apollo. I know when the witness isn't confident. I can perceive what he's feeling. It might not mean anything, but it's all we've got. You can see what he's feeling? Think back, Apollo. Think back to the times when there was a contradiction in his testimony. All the times! All the times there was a contradiction. Well, I think I remember them, sure. There were 2 times when he made statements that he wasn't confident in. And each time there was a contradiction. He held a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled the scene. He said the man tossed aside a pistol, but it turned out he wasn't sure, and sure enough there was a contradiction. Well, that's true, but how does it help us? Didn't you notice anything? Whenever he made a statement that he wasn't confident in, he displayed a certain habit. Do you see it? The very moment he said the word pistol, his fingers got all tense and he fiddled with the corner of a page in his book. How am I supposed to see that? Well, I could see it. Oh my god. I forgot about that. What? I always sat next to Daddy. During big matches. I could see what his opponents were feeling. mean, that's how Mr. Wright won all those games?
Not cheating officially. I wasn't looking at their hands or anything. And I wasn't there all the time either. Daddy's quite good at poker after all. I'm not good enough to go undefeated for that long.
Great, so he cheated. So what does that have to do with us? I don't believe this.
You have to listen to his testimony one more time. No, scratch that. You have to watch his testimony. Perceive the truth.
Watch a testimony? Perceive the truth? The only thing I'm perceiving is I'm going to lose.
Not true. Daddy said so. He said you have the power, Apollo.
Mr. Wright said that? Watch the testimony. Perceive his true feelings. Is he serious?
Time's up. Sorry, I can't think of any other way out of this, Apollo. What was that you said before the trial started?
Mr. Wright's not here today?
He said his foot injury was acting up. Yes, he smiled when he said that. We'll be fine as long as you're there, Tracy.
What do we meant by us being fine? Well, methods aside, she did avoid one guilty verdict already today. Time to show this court what I'm made of. Get ready for justice! Let's do it.
Apollo?
You know, I'm starting to think I can do this.
I knew you could do it all along. Oh, one more thing. Try to cover for Mr. Had as best you can.
I just flew in from the coast, and boy, are my arms tired.
Alright. June 16th, 11:40 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. We are going to end things here for today. It's kind of nice to get back to this, because we'll see how I feel in a couple episodes. I'm going to try my damnedest to not slack off again, though. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. In the next episode of Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney, Corner Turnabout, we are going to go and continue the trial. That's it. That's what we're going to do. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys later.